Okay, well, I'm Merritt Fry from Molly Rising Foundation. I am the executive director and the only United States staff person. And I get a lot of questions about our staff in Molly, who are the people who are really doing all the really hard and fun work that our supporters are backing when they get involved with Molly Rising. So we wanted to give people a chance to get to know the staff in Molly a little bit better. So I have Adama Kone here with me today, who is our teachers project coordinator.
Hello,
And we're
everyone.
and we're just going to have a little discussion so you can get to know Adama a little bit. So
So my name is Adama Kone, and I'm a teacher project coordinator for Money Rising Foundation.
good,
Hello,
good,
everyone.
good to have you here, Adama. Well, let's start with the easy question. Just what are your main responsibilities at Molly Rising, Adama? I know that you are the teacher project coordinator, but you also do some work on our health project. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Oh, well, I just like you said, I do many things as a teacher project coordinator for Money Rising Foundation. First of all, we have an annual training that we do with the teachers every year. We also organize what we call the teacher peer meetings and principal peer meetings, a bunch of them every year. And in terms of health, we also started a pilot project on health this year, which is still going on. And we have 4 villages that we're working on, especially this COVID-19 crisis period.
Right.
So we've been working with those 4 villages a lot.
Right. And I know, Adama, that you've had to, because of COVID-19, try some new things with the health project, including becoming a radio star. What are you doing on the radio for the health project?
That's a great question. Actually, we've been working with local radio stations in Baghdad and Wesibugu, where we have partner schools.
Hmm.
The goal is that we're trying to sensitize the people in our villages so they are more aware of COVID-19.
Okay.
So we have lessons that we send to the radio animators that they will actually broadcast on the radio, and people in these villages can listen to our lessons and prevent the COVID-19 in their own villages.
Wonderful. Okay, great. All right. Well, sticking with thinking about the work that you're doing, what is your favorite part of your job? What's the very best part of your job?
Well, that's a good question, even if it's a little bit tough to answer. Yeah, because there are so many things that I like about my job. But the best thing I like about my job is when I'm outside Bamako in villages with teachers and students, and especially when I'm organizing those peer meetings
Mm-hmm.
where teachers are sharing experiences and I'm learning from them, they're learning from each other as well.
Very good. And now, maybe part of the reason you like those peer meetings so much is you used to be a teacher before you came to work with us. Is that right, Adama?
Yes, that's right.
And you taught English, which is why your English is so good.
Thank you for singing my praises.
Yes.
Yeah, I teach English.
Very good. Um, well, so you have been with Molly Rising now for almost a full school year. We're getting to the end of your first school year with us. Um,
Mhm.
what do you think you've learned doing this work, which is a little different than being a teacher during this first year?
Great. What I've learned during my first school year with Mali Rising Foundation would be like when there is a tense situation between like the one thing teachers or principal or school committees are not getting along with each other, what we can do to
Mm,
fix the problem between like in the crowd or in the school.
mhm.
So I have been learning that with Mali Rising Foundation how to fix a problem in our school.
That's great. And that's kind of funny to think about, but it's just like schools here in the United States where people are people, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have tension between the
Right.
teachers and the parents or the
Yeah.
principal, and you feel like you've been able to learn some skills to help calm everybody
Right.
down. That's okay.
Right.
That's really
Right.
good. All right. Um, well then, I know that you get to spend a lot of time traveling into the villages, as you mentioned, and just
Yeah.
chatting with the teachers and getting to know them. So I wonder, do you have any just funny stories from those visits or stories that the teachers have told you that you could share with us?
Actually, yes, but it might not be funny for you guys. But in Sankama, which is actually one of our partner schools, it's the one of our villages.
That's Judge Memorial, right?
Yes,
Sankama?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's in the Willisibou area. I went there once when I was distributing the hand washing stations. So that day I got there around 1 p.m. and there were teachers and other people. They were sitting together, chatting and having tea. So there was one guy, he was making the tea and he was right close next to the tea. And his friend was coming from behind and he just popped out and he said, "Wow!" And that guy who was making the tea, he got scared and he was kind of falling and he spilled the tea. And the other guys they were just sitting and they were like, "What is this? What is this? You spill all the tea."
Oh, the tea's gone.
Yes.
Well, and for people in the U.S. or Europe, we might not know that being in charge of serving the tea in a group of teachers is very important and very artistic. You do a lot of pouring the tea back and forth to make it frothy and delicious.
Yes.
And so people would get very upset if you fell down on the job.
Exactly. That's what happened. They were like, "You're going to pay back the tea. You're going to make another tea. We're not going to give up. We'll make another tea."
You'll do it all over again. I swear, sometimes I watch the teachers make the tea and it can take 15 minutes to get that really rich.
Yeah. It requires a lot of talent.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you and I spend quite a bit of time talking about the Malian education system.
Yeah.
And no country has a perfect education system, just like here, where we're constantly debating it. You and I have talked a lot about, if only we could change this or that. So if you could change like one thing about the Malian education system, what would you pick?
What I would fix right now, the first thing I would try to fix is actually the curriculum, which is the mother tongue, which is the language, like the national language being taught in our primary schools.
Right.
For the 3 years.
Okay.
So that was not in our system before. We did not used to do that. And when I went to school, like in primary school, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
So when the government started this system, we can see that it has negatively impacted our education.
Your education system.
So we will have to kind of generalize it, like it's happening in all the schools in Mali, or we just stop it. Because the problem is that it's not in all the schools in Mali.
It's not consistent.
In private school, it's not consistent. It's not in a private school, but it's only in public schools.
Okay. Yeah, that for people who don't know, Mali has upwards more than 40 kind of local languages, but the official language of French is the language of education, particularly when you get into middle school, which most of our schools are. So it makes learning really challenging for kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. This one I wanted to ask something a little bit personal. So when you were in middle school, which is what we call our schools, which are grades 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, what did you find the hardest part of school, and why was it so hard for you?
The hardest part of that time when I was in middle school was because I was born in a very small village, about 70 km from Willisibou.
Okay.
That's where I was born, and I had to ride a bicycle every day to get to school, from my primary school to the middle school.
Okay.
So that was very difficult for me at the time.
Sometimes
I would come late. It was 7 kilometers away.
Okay.
Like back and forth in the morning and in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find you were pretty tired, or as you say, late sometimes because of that?
I would come late sometimes. I would be very tired. And the thing that I also like the best about that same area is like At that time, all my teachers actually understood that I was living far
Uh,
away from Frisbee.
okay.
So they understood me very well. They did not beat me with mistake
They didn't.
because I came late.
Good. Good. I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and what, on the other side, what did you find easiest about school during that time period, or most, what made you most happy in school at that time?
First of all, because they didn't hit me, even
Right?
if they decided to hit me, they would have done that all every day
Right.
because or every week because of the distance.
Right.
So they understood that. They were nice to me, and one of the things is also maybe I was part of the best students in French
Right.
when I was in middle school. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I'm saying that. So
Right.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
thought you're a good student. You were trying hard. You're not being lazy
yes,
if you show up a
right.
little late. Right. Okay. Okay. And then I think my last question, but unless there's anything else you want to talk about, but tell me a little bit about you outside of work. Like, what do you like to do when you're at home and you're not having to work?
Well, when I'm home, usually I stay with my family.
Mm-hmm.
I hang out with them, but I also like hanging out with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I play sports sometimes, like playing soccer.
Okay.
On Sunday also I play frisbee.
Frisbee.
Even yeah, a lot of
Like,
people in Mali don't know frisbee, but
no,
people in the United States may know it.
it's very popular here, but I don't know many
Yes,
people in Mali who play. So
I
that.
like that game very much.
And now I can hear kids in the background, and you're working at home because of
Mhm.
COVID-19. Are those your kids that we're hearing?
Yes,
And
it's my
how
case.
many kids are we hearing there in the background?
I have 4 kids.
And
Yeah,
you have
I
two
just got
twins.
twins. Yes,
Yeah,
just got twins, a boy
and
and a girl.
a boy and a girl, and
Yeah,
then
they're 9 months now.
they're 9 months already. Wow, that just seems
Yeah,
like yesterday.
yeah,
And then the other two, you have a boy and a girl, older boy and
yep.
girl, and how old are they now?
My first daughter, which is my first child,
Mm-hmm.
she is now 9 years.
Oh wow, okay, she's getting older too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my second boy is David, who is now 4 years.
4 years old. Wow. Well, you get your hands full.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, but that's a lot. I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well,
That's why it's very expensive to take care of all of them.
all those children. Yeah. Four,
Yeah.
four, four is a good number. That's.
For his good number, I hope
Yeah.
so. Thank you.
All right. Well, anything else you want to share? Those were all my questions.
Unless you have more questions for me.
No, I think we can always have another little chat if
Okay.
we do. Actually, we can ask people if they watch this, if they have questions, they could
Yeah.
share them, and then we could talk about those.
Sure. I would be happy to join that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Thank you.
Thank you.